It was a humid afternoon in Jackson, Mississippi. The streets were buzzing with the usual noise, vendors shouting, kids playing ball, and cars rushing past. But in the middle of this ordinary scene, the extraordinary happened. Marcus Hightower, a 34-year-old decorated black veteran, had just returned from his final tour overseas. He wasn't wearing his uniform today, just a plain gray hoodie and jeans. To the officers patrolling the block, he looked like any other man walking home with a grocery bag in hand. But when one of the officers, Sergeant Willis, noticed Marcus, he narrowed his eyes. Another one of them loitering, Willis muttered, clutching his rifle a little tighter. His partner, Officer Drummond, sneered. "Let's make him move along." Instead of approaching Marcus with words, they jumped from their cruiser with weapons drawn. "Hands where I can see them," Willis barked. Marcus froze, confused. "I'm just walking home." "What's the problem?" The grocery bag slipped slightly in his grip, and in that instant, Drummond panicked. He fired a warning shot that tore into the pavement inches from Marcus's feet. Startled pedestrians screamed and scattered. Marcus raised his hands high, his military instincts kicking in. "I am unarmed," he shouted, calm but firm. But Willis wasn't listening. His finger twitched against a trigger. Before Marcus could say more, bullets ripped through the air. One grazed his shoulder, spinning him down onto the curb. The bag burst open, oranges rolling across the sidewalk, staining with blood. Neighbors screamed. Someone filmed within seconds. The video hit the internet like wildfire. Across the country, the footage spread faster than news anchors could frame the headline. But this time, something unusual happened. At the Pentagon, Marcus's name didn't just register as another civilian. It triggered an alert. General Nathaniel Cross, head of special operations, saw the red file flash on his desk. "Marcus Hightower," he murmured. He knew that name. Marcus wasn't just a soldier, he was the man who had led a classified mission that had saved an entire U.S. battalion from an ambush overseas. His service was etched into military history, though the public never knew. He wasn't just a veteran. He was a hero the Pentagon owed everything to. When the general saw the video cops gunning down a decorated, black veteran on U.S. soil, his fists clenched. "Get me Defense Command," he ordered. Within the hour, the Pentagon bypassed local and state channels. A direct order was issued: arrest the officers immediately. It was unprecedented. The Department of Defense had never interfered with a civilian police matter this swiftly, but Marcus's file left no room for hesitation. Meanwhile, Marcus lay in the hospital, his shoulder bandaged. Reporters crowded outside, demanding interviews. Protesters gathered with signs reading "Justice for Marcus," and "Heroes don't bleed here." But Marcus didn't care about fame or outrage. He cared about truth. When FBI agents came to take his statement, he looked them straight in the eye. "Those men didn't see me as a citizen. They didn't see me as a veteran. They saw me as a threat because of my skin." His voice didn't shake. His discipline held. But deep inside, a storm raged. Back at the precinct, Willis and Drummond lounged arrogantly, confident the system would protect them. They'd already started drafting a report claiming Marcus resisted arrest, and reached into his pocket. But the door to the station burst open, and in marched federal agents in full tactical gear flanked by military police. "Sergeant Willis, Officer Drummond, by order of the Pentagon, you are under arrest for unlawful use of deadly force, attempted murder, and conduct unbecoming." The room froze. "You can't do this," Willis barked. "We're cops." "Not above the law," an MP snapped, slapping cuffs on him. For the first time in their careers, the badge couldn't shield them. The trial that followed became a national spectacle. Defense attorneys scrambled, spinning excuses, but the Pentagon's involvement made it impossible to bury the truth. Witnesses testified, video evidence replayed endlessly, and Marcus's military record stood like an unshakable pillar. When Marcus took the stand, the courtroom fell silent. He lifted his shirt slightly to reveal the healing scar on his shoulder. "This scar isn't from enemy fire overseas," he said. "It's from my own country, from men who swore to protect it. I fought for this nation so others wouldn't bleed. But here, at home, I nearly bled out on the sidewalk." His words cut deeper than any lawyer's arguments. The jury deliberated for just 3 hours, guilty on all counts. The aftermath rippled across America. For the first time, a pair of police officers faced not just dismissal, but federal prison, pushed by direct Pentagon orders. The message was clear. No badge, no uniform, and no prejudice stood above justice. Marcus became a reluctant symbol not because he wanted attention, but because his story broke through the noise. When asked if he forgave the men who shot him, Marcus answered quietly, "I don't forgive hatred, I fight it, but I fight it the way I fought for my country, with honor. They didn't take that from me. Months later, Marcus walked through the same Jackson streets again, this time greeted with nods, handshakes, and gratitude. The same sidewalks that once held his blood now held murals of him, painted by neighborhood kids. He didn't see himself as a hero. He saw himself as a survivor with a mission to make sure no other veteran, no other black man, no other citizen had to live his nightmare. And somewhere in the Pentagon, General Cross kept Marcus's file on his desk, not as a reminder of classified missions abroad, but as proof of a battle fought at home. Because sometimes, the fight for justice doesn't happen overseas. Sometimes, it happens on the street where you live. And this time, justice won.